Hey everyone, Ace of Clay here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another sculpting video. Today, we're making a troll, like the kind that lives under a bridge, not the kind that leaves nasty comments on the internet. And thank you, Dan, on Twitter for the suggestion. And then before we get started, I want to invite you to join my Facebook group. I haven't mentioned this in a while. It's called Snakes of Clay. I recently changed it from Aces of Clay. It's an awesome community of like-minded sculptors that really just share the love of sculpting every day. And so if you're looking to either start sculpting or you've been sculpting for a while, this is a great group for you. So check it out. It is called Snakes of Clay on Facebook. Now, without further ado, hit like, hit subscribe, and let's make a troll. Alright, the first step is armature. I'm just going to shape out the troll's legs, feet, and torso from this aluminum wire. Then to create his arms, I'm going to bend another piece of wire over the shoulders like this, and then attach it with a smaller gauge wire. And as always, all of the materials and tools that I use in this video are listed in the description box below, along with my affiliate links if you want to purchase anything. Now we're just bulking out that torso with some aluminum foil, and then we're going to follow this with some Sculpey Ultralight to create a nice solid surface to add my final layer of clay later on. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, using Ultralight, you don't have to make sure the Ultralight is perfect. You just want to rough out the general shape of your figure. You do want to make sure there aren't too many crazy nooks and crannies everywhere. You want it to be relatively smooth, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And would you look at that, we've got Frosty the Snowman. Now it's time to bake this guy according to the manufacturer's instructions, and then once he's baked and completely cooled down, it's time to add our final layer of clay, Super Sculpey Original. My personal favorite. And I got these nice even sheets of clay by rolling it through my pasta roller on the thickest setting. It's called a pasta roller, not a pasta maker. I keep calling it a pasta maker, just want to correct that. It is a pasta roller. Now we're going ahead and shaping out some toes and attaching those. And once all the toes are on, we're just going to go ahead and add some nails. And this is just a flattened ball of clay that I'm cutting with my broken palette knife. Alright, now to take the feet to the next level, we're going to add some joints by adding a little tiny snake of clay onto each toe like so, and then blending it in with my firm detail tool, and then quickly changing my mind and using my spoon tool instead. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a lateral malleolus, which is that little bone that sticks out on the side of your feet, and then follow that with some tendons on top. Now I'm just going to take some tiny snakes of clay and add them around the ankle just to make some wrinkles on the skin. Now for another added detail, I'm going to add some little tiny balls of clay in different sizes to create these random bumps all over the surface of the skin. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the pectoral muscles, or more like man boobs in this case. Going to go ahead and add some clay for those. Now we're just going to take our fertility statue and add a little belly button. Now I'm going to take my explorer tool to add some wrinkles in the skin. Now I'm going to selectively apply some more of those round bumps. And we're going to finish off the chest with some nipples. Actually, we're going to finish it off with a small texture using my tiny ball stylus. Wow, those nipples are really unsettling. Now we're going to go ahead and give them a loincloth. And for the piece that hangs down in the front, I just cut out this little shape and added a snake of clay to create a fold, like so, blending that in, cutting some notches, and then sticking it on with a little bit of bacon bond. After finishing the loincloth, we're going to go ahead and brush the entire surface with clay softener to remove fingerprints and smooth everything out and get him ready for another bake. And then once he's baked and completely cooled down, it's time to start those arms. Now let's make him a hand. And before I go any further, I want this guy to be holding something, so I decided on a giant bone, so I'm going to go ahead and create that right now. Now I'm going to sculpt the end of the bone, and I'm going to start the opposite end so that this doesn't start looking like something else. Not like it really helps though. Yeah, I'm kind of asking for it at this point. Now we're just going to blend everything together, finish off that bone, pre-bake it, and then add it to the hand later on. Alright, we get it. The bone is done. Go bake it. Come on. Keep it moving! Alright, then at some point in time I made the other hand, and we're going to add some more details to the hands by adding some knuckles and joints. Then before we attach the hand, so I'm not just smashing it onto the wire, I am poking a hole at the base, adding some bacon bond, and then sliding it onto that wire. Then blending it together. Now I just want to add a little bit more muscle definition to the arm, so we're just going to go ahead and add some more clay. Now for some more wrinkles with my Explorer tool. Then some more dots. Alright, his right arm's looking pretty good. Now we're just going to attach the other hand to the arm that I finished off camera. It's now holding the bone, add some final details, and then get this guy ready to bake again. But not before we add some more texture and then clay softener. And once he's baked and completely cooled down, it's time to start the head. Just creating the internal structure of the head with some aluminum foil, making this sort of teardrop shape, and then covering that in clay. Now I'm going to press out the eye area with my large ball stylus, and then follow this with the eye sockets using my medium ball stylus. Now let's add the eyes. And once those eyes are in, I'm going to go ahead and add a tiny snake of clay to create some lower lids, and then blend them in with my spoon tool. And then let's give him a really big exaggerated brow bone. Now I just want to kind of get a feel for where the mouth is going to go, so I'm just pressing out the sort of smile lines with my spoon tool. And we're going to see what a frowning underbite looks like. And it doesn't seem to be working for me yet, so I'm going to go and refine those lines a little bit more and just get this thing to work. And before I permanently add the underbite, I'm going to go ahead and bring out those cheekbones a little bit more. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Now let's figure out the teeth. It takes me a couple tries to get these properly positioned. Now I'm just going to throw everything on to get a better idea before I commit, and I like it, so let's do the rest of the bottom teeth and finish that mouth. And now it's time for the nose. Now before I do the ears, I just want to attach the head with some Bacon Bond. Get that on there. And then I brought his chin out just a little bit more because it was looking kind of flat for a second there. Now let's start the ears. I'm just shaping out the ear in my fingertips and then pressing out the details with my medium ball stylus and blending with my spoon tool. That's looking pretty good. Alright, now for a final detail, I want to give this guy a necklace with some skulls hanging from it. So I'm just going to sculpt the skulls on top of my large ball stylus. And these are relatively simple looking skulls, but they match the style of my troll. So I could say they're super easy and super effective. And after sculpting each skull, I just pierced a hole through them so I can feed a piece of twine through it and make that necklace. Now we're going to brush everything with clay softener to remove fingerprints for the last time. And he's ready to bake. Oops, almost forgot the skulls. And our troll is baked and completely cooled down, and he's ready for paint. All of the paints that I use in this video are Folk Art brand matte acrylics. And this nice green shade I'm using is called Crocodile. After a couple coats of that nice green base color, I'm going to go ahead and darken that color with a little bit of pure black, and then go into all of the nooks and crannies on this guy's body to add some shading and dimension. And then going back to my pure green color, I added a little bit of bright yellow to lighten it a little bit, and I'm just going into all of the raised areas now. Then for the next step, I mixed some red violet with that dark green, and I'm going back into all of those nooks and crannies again. Now let's go ahead and highlight his face a little bit more. And then paint all of those spots with that red violet brown mixture. Now for his eyes, I'm going in with a little lemon custard. And I'm going to base coat his teeth with some dark brown. Give him some irises with my pure black. And once the brown is completely dry on the teeth, I'm going to lighten the brown with some yellow bright and warm white and dry brush that on. Then we're going to paint his loincloth brown and follow this with some dove gray. Then I mixed some brown and warm white to create this nice bone color, and we're going to paint the bone and the skulls. And I'm going to finish off the skulls with a nice brown wash, thread some twine through them, get it around his neck, tie it, get it at a height that I want, and then I'm going to glaze the teeth, his bottom lip and eyes with some glossy varnish. And he's done! The troll is complete. Let me know how you think I did in the comments and what you want to see me sculpt next. And if you use any of the tips and techniques in this video on your own projects, share them to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and tag me at AceOfClay or hashtag AceOfClay so I can check them out. And that's a wrap. I really hope you like how the troll came out. I think he looks really cool. I'm really happy with him, really no complaints. He could be a little more dynamic though. I don't know why I don't think of this while I'm still sculpting. But as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. Be sure to check out my Facebook group, Snakes of Clay. We'd love to have you. And then follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at AceOfClay for more content. And I'm also on TikTok, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.